Unless I'm talking about my asexuality, which
Which
isn't really that dirty because I'm talking about how I'm not having sex.
yeah, true. That's something because I even asked my pops a couple days ago. I was like, we explain the asex because my real father, me and him are like Sanford and Son, best friends. We're cool. He's gay and married to a buddy, not buddy. We're buddies now. I didn't know him. It's not like he hooked up with my best friend or anything like that. But his husband, I guess my stepfather, Chandler, they got married when North Carolina finally allowed the law. He was one of those people that fought for it and everything. So and he didn't. He's old too.
Yeah.
He's older. So when I asked him about it, he's like, they don't like to have sex. It was like. He's like, I can't. He's like, I don't know. I don't have any. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad I'm having them on because I'm gonna ask because I don't think a lot. I think a lot of other people out there just don't understand it. Like you get these and people that don't understand something especially Americans, tend to be afraid of it and to bash it and to like belittle it.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a thing in the white European community to do that,
Yeah.
the tribalism thing. And that's one thing I try to stick away from. Like I grew up calling a black man dad and a gay man dad, because my mom married my stepfather, and I've known him my whole life. So I've been pretty cultural. I'm lucky because there are kids out there that don't. So what explain it in your eyes and opinion? What's the deal?
So yeah, basically,
Learn me something.
basically, asexuality is like basically the lack of sexual attraction to people. Plain and simple. It's like, like we can be romantically attracted. Like I can find like a woman beautiful and like want to have like a relationship with her, but it doesn't mean I necessarily want to have sex with her.
Okay. And is this something that's been studied very much, like scientifically? Is it like a gene, or is it just what?
I don't know if there's a gene or not. There hasn't been too much science put into it from what I've been kind of doing a little bit of my own research, but
Because you would have thought like the way religion is, that would have been the thing they were going for to learn about. That they're like, wait a minute, there's people out there that don't want to have sex. Because they've broken the rules. That's hacking the system.
yeah,
Like, that is man's downfall.
that Catholic upbringing did me in.
So, like, yeah, that's how I feel about it. When I learned about it first, and it wasn't when I met you, I've learned about it just, because I live in 2020, 21.
Yeah.
And, it was like they're hacking it. They're beating the system. Like, we have to. No, that's the man's trait to fuck everything up. That's been my downfall every time I've been in trouble. Yeah, I may be charged and done some dumb shit for something else, but it was always to get a girl or to impress a girl to get laid. Like, that's all it was all about for a long time. That sounds really bad now, but I say it out loud. But but and you're just like, fuck it. You're not even paying attention.
Yeah.
You're just like, you know how much money I could have right now?
I know. It's like how much money I've saved not having to like, get prostitutes or just like take a girl to dinner or anything.
Yeah, but then again, you're not stimulating that economy. That's
No.
the number one job since man.
Yeah, no, because usually most of my money just goes to like the used bookstore.
Yeah. So, when did you realize this asexual thing?
I've actually discovered about 2 years ago. Mostly because I really didn't know it was a thing because a lot of people don't know it's a thing.
Yeah.
And so I was, kind of found out it was a thing and was reading about it. And I was like, this kind of tracks with a lot of what I've been experiencing. And then it's like, oh, I totally get it now.
So you didn't have friends and stuff that tried to make you feel like you needed to prove yourself to lose your virginity or anything like that?
No, not really, because most of my friends in high school, we were all virgins.
Oh, so it wasn't even a competition. See, that was the I was kind of a jock, not in a jock way. Like, I wasn't that kid that was like, I didn't play on the football team. I was the basketball player, but I played. John Matty played, and you see those kinds. Those are the guys that play. We didn't have a good team, so yeah, it was a competition to get chicks. Especially my best friend, we adopted my brother now, and he he was a wrestling captain or something like that, and a pretty boy.
Oh boy.
And it was a competition of who could get the chicks first and the most, and it was a really horrible thing. That's why I'm so scared of having kids now. I was like, I was such a horrible fucking kid. If I'm gonna get a daughter, and I don't know if I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I know. It's like my brother was always, being like, "When are you getting a girlfriend?" It's like, I don't know, whenever, because my brother dated the same girl for like 4 years before they broke up, and because like they started dating when I was a junior in high school, and they broke up like my second or third year of college, and so they were together a long while, but by the end of their relationship, like it was getting pretty toxic because
They usually do if they're not gonna last.
yeah.
It's hard. We have that age. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, because then after that, my brother kind of just dated a couple, nothing big, no major relationships for like a year and a half, and then started dating this girl who had a child with one of his ex best friends, and
That guy, no.
yeah, well, I mean, like they quit being friends before he even
Yeah.
had a daughter, so. But part of the reason their relationship didn't last because, like, the only thing my mom would want to talk about with him involving the relationship was the 3-year-old girl because, that's the closest thing my mom's getting to a grandkid.
Oh yeah, true.
Because my older sister has been married it'll be 7 years later this year. She and her husband don't want kids.
Yeah, hey, me and my wife just decided that it might be time to start working on them during COVID.
Yeah.
It was probably not the smartest decision. We were like, it's gonna end. We might as well go ahead and stop taking the birth control. And now I'm taking these pills that help me, I guess, create more oomph. But yeah, so
Yeah.
have you had any relationships? Have you ever tried, or did you?
I mean,
No one's ever tried to throw it at you. No chick's been like, "Oh, we'll see," and tried to like.
I had one girl who had a crush on me in high school, but I didn't find out about this till afterwards. Like it wasn't even
fucking great.
It wasn't even no, it wasn't even obvious to anyone else in the class at that point. Like she was hiding it, and so like I met her like randomly out of the blue one afternoon, like the summer after we graduated, like a year or so after we graduated high school. We started talking, and then she's talking about how she had a crush on me, and then leaned in and like kissed me and all that, and I was like, oh boy, I don't know how I feel about this. Which probably should have been a sign about being asexual, but it's also may have just been a sign of I just feel very uncomfortable right now.
Well, yeah, I can imagine you get worked up to the 40-year-old virgin movie. That's they portray it in a comedy, but the way that guy, like how he just had bad experiences. It took a long time to get into it, and he's seen sex is such a thing in society, like it's everywhere. It's on all the commercials because sex sells. It's all over fucking everything. And porn, I mean, it's so easy. It's at every fingertips, right? So it's always being thrusted on us, and and you've beaten that for one. Like, porn is a real issue. Supposedly, I was reading a bunch of these articles about how porn. They were doing a lot of studies on it, and especially with lockdown, because porn has gone like skyrocketed, I guess, on the views. So, and it's like they're seeing an addiction addict kind of response in it, like the brain and the chemicals and from what they know, and it's could get pretty nasty. And you've beaten that. Like you don't even. That's just, it kind of makes me jealous. But you know what? You're just someone that didn't go through that and got married. And now you're like me, see, because I'm married. And you lose your sex drive after getting married, so completely. You're just like, nah, been there, done that. No, I'm kidding.
It's like hard to lose what I didn't have.
Yeah. No, my wife's still pretty hot. What was it? Do you know any other? Is there a community?
So I'm I'm part of a lot of asexual groups on Facebook, and then some I know some other people who are asexual because Teal's also asexual because he even posts jokes about it on Facebook sometimes. And then I know of a couple other people. I'm not going to name drop them because I don't want to. You
Yeah.
know,
Is there like an asexual closet? Do people?
it's more of the.
Because I seen you catch that flack over the turbo.
Turbo Virgin. Oh
thing.
God, yeah, yeah. Oh man, that was always fun because back in October that was my 1 year anniversary of coming out as asexual, and so I shared in one of the groups, and then because it was a public group on Facebook, so people could just see it and share it, and then that's when the asshole from Flint, Michigan, was like,
And you wonder why your water's fucked up.
yeah, I know. I just assumed that they drank the water.
He said, "What is there, lead in it?" "No, I'm cool. What's a little lead? I drink out of the hose all the time." "It's not from drinking out of the hose, idiot." The water that comes through the hose.
I know. Luckily, when all that shit went down, it was the few days before Halloween.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah.
You
So
owned it.
like literally on the day of Halloween, I went to one of the costume stores, and I like my costume. Like I bought my costume. Like I got the suit for the Homelander from The Boys, and then just bought like a different cape and mask. And basically went as Turbo Virgin, and I was because like a lot of my friends were at the Heavy Anchors Halloween party, and I was basically the hit of the party with all my friends because like just for like turning something negative into probably the best thing that happened to me all
Yeah,
year.
you owned it. You're like, yeah, I'm a virgin. So what? I've never had a cotton Q-tip shoved up my dick and swabbed because I was with a risky chick. Hey, and don't worry about it, all right? You don't need to ask why I know what a cotton swab feels. I did a bit about that, about how when I was doing storytelling, of how easily it would be, how I realized that men really aren't as big and bad as they think, because there's something as small as a Q-tip can bring any of us to our knees.
Yeah.
Like, that, and after my first sexual STD, no, thinking we had a STD, me and the chick I was with, and she was sleeping around, I was sleeping around, and got the clap, but it was easier to get rid of than a cold. It was lady gave me some pills. She said, "You might get a little hot, like nice," and I was like, I'll just jump in the water. Like I got the ocean right here. But yeah, so after that, I was like, oh yeah, we're wearing condoms from now on. I ain't fucking around. Like that was horrible. Just I didn't know what old lady was doing. I thought she wanted to inspect the junk because she told me to drop the drawers. I come out that bitch like, da, 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 da. And she said, all right. And she said, come stand right here. And I should have been paying attention, but not the brightest person out there. She kneels down. I'm like, okay, she's about to get a real good look at it. Puts her hand up like this up against this cabinet and has me backed in between the corner of the cabinet and grabs it. And then like where I'm there, she like does her elbow and grabs my shit and swabs it to where I can't back out and back away or go anywhere. And all I could do was go, oh, and grab her over the shoulders. And I was like, this feels weird.
Oh boy!
And no one warned me. No one told me. It was a very traumatizing event.
Well, at least now I know if somehow I ever have to get tested for the clap.
Yeah, they better find a new way. God damn it! After COVID, y'all got plenty of different tests y'all have tried. You should have it figured out by now. Damn. Do you know anyone that's ever been asexual that came out as asexual and then went back into the closet because they found out they weren't? Like, does that happen? They just find their soulmate all of a sudden?
I mean, not really, because they're with being asexual. It is.
It's like a gay thing. You're born that way.
Yeah, and then there's also a couple different spectrums where like you can be like in a relationship with someone for a long time and then kind of feel like willing to have sex with them and have a little bit of sexual attraction to them, and then. Then there's like people who are like asexual and just want to have like a romantic relationship with no sex, and then there are people who are like, yeah, I don't care about sex or having a relationship. I'm being single my whole life.
Yeah, That's gonna be those people that are want to have the romantic part and then not the physical part is you'd have to be okay with your old lady then because that's kind of rude. I would think you're gonna do all that nice romantic you be a perfect man, and then she's like, oh my god, and that's what turns a woman really on is being that perfect guy.
Yeah, and it's like sometimes you like you think you're like straight or gay or whatever, and then like you get into the relationship and start like doing sexual things. You're like realizing you're not liking it, and then it's when you realize you're asexual, and then sometimes that can be the deal breaker for a relationship, and sometimes partners can just be like, you know what, I can understand. We'll do our best to make things work.